Hey guys, it's Robin. Today I'm going to talk about Multi-Pure's Aquaperform. This is the water filter that I use under my kitchen sink. So the thing I love so much about Multi-Pure, I've said it many times, is the longevity of the company. They've been in business for almost 55 years. So you know they're going to be around for years to come. And also they have the most amount of NSF certifications of any water filter company on the market. So a lot of companies will say they test to NSF standards. It's not the same as having an NSF certification. So the beauty of the NSF certification is you know it removes what it says it's going to remove. So the Aquaperform is about that size. It can go under your sink or on the counter, either way. It's completely up to you. And I always recommend getting the acrylic base. Even if you put it under the sink, it comes with a mounting bracket. You can mount it to the wall if you get the under counter unit. But what I like about the base is when it does come time yearly to change out the filter, it's easier to remove, right? So it just sits in the base and then you can remove it to change out the filter. So you would just turn this, take off this O-ring. I have a video on how to change a filter if you need it. You can find it, I can send it to you. And then you just change the filter. And then I always get the John Guest adapter kits when I order because it helps connect it to your in and your out. So they're just nice to have on hand. So the Aquaperform removes over 90 contaminants, including arsenic. So that's the reason I have this one, because where I live in my area, we have a lot of arsenic in our water. If you want to see the contaminants in your water, you can find your city's municipal water report, or you can go to ewg.org/tapwater and check out what's in your area. You can use my coupon code at Multi-Pure's website or order from my website to save 5% on all the products. And I always recommend signing up for the replacement filter program. 2 bonuses for that. You don't have to remember when your year is up, when it's time to change the filter. And also it saves you 15% on the filter plus the 5% you get by using my coupon code 435899. So when I talk about NSF certifications and the over 90 contaminants that this removes, when you look at the contaminants the certifications from NSF, they have tested over 23,000 water filters. And when you start breaking down the different contaminants that the water filters actually remove, the numbers start hugely dwindling. So for example, if you say, okay, how many will remove cyst? It's only 1,800. And then you say, well, how many will remove lead? Well, from 23,000, you're down to 1,300 that are certified to actually remove lead. And then when you start combining contaminants, the number gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So if you combine arsenic and forever chemicals along with the PFOAs and the PFAs and the microplastics and all that, you're down to 8 that will remove all of those things together. And then when you add on cyst and mercury and VOCs and a couple other contaminants, and you start really dwindling the number that are NSF certified to remove that whole host of contaminants, you're actually down to 2. And those 2 are both Multi-Pure products. So one is the Aquaperform right here. And the other one, I just did a video on, you can check it out, is the Aqualux. So the only difference between these 2 is this one will remove bacteria and viruses. So if I did live in a city that had boil water advisories all the time, or I knew their water was really, really bad, if you live in one of those areas, you probably know, I would definitely have the Aqualux under my kitchen sink. But for now, I have the Aquaperform and I love it. And people will say, well, I don't drink the tap water, but we do use it to make our coffee, we use it to boil pasta, we use it to make rice, and we wash our produce with it. And the produce will soak up anything that's in your tap water. And you can do a simple chlorine test and see how much stuff that strawberries or blueberries or apples or potatoes will soak up, because it'll soak up that chlorine immediately, and it's amazing to see. I've done that video, you can watch it. And also the things we don't see. I mean, we can see chlorine, so we can test that and know, But then you have things like pharmaceuticals that end up in our water. So we have antidepressants, we have birth control, we have ibuprofen, we have anti-cancer medicines, we have all kind of things that end up in our water, in addition to the arsenic and the PFOAs and the microplastics and the chlorine. And the chlorine is necessary because you have to kill the bacteria that's coming in the water so we don't all get sick all the time. So that is something the municipal water companies have to put in our water. But we don't want to necessarily be consuming chlorine all day long. And some people will say, well, I drink bottled water. Well, when you start really doing a deep dive and doing research on bottled water, it's no better than your tap water. Most bottled water is simply tap water put in a bottle. And so you have the microplastics from the tap water, and now you have the microplastics from the bottled water. They tested a liter of bottled water and it had like over 240,000 pieces of microplastics in it. And that bioaccumulates in our body because it literally takes hundreds of years for those microplastics to break down, and we don't live hundreds of years. And one of the researchers that was testing the microplastics in the body said he was really astounded at the amount that accumulated in our brains. So our brains had the most amount of microplastics in them. So I wish I had known about this earlier. I've been using these for a little over 3 years now. I got them for my children, so my granddaughter now is able to drink clean water from the kitchen sink, and all of her food is cooked with that water as well. So Multi-Pure Aquaperform, lifetime warranty on the stainless steel housing. You can save 5% with my coupon code 435899. You change the filter once a year. So lifetime warranty on the housing, filter has to be replaced once a year. And that's the other thing. Some of the filter companies, their housing is plastic, and over time, if you read the reviews, it'll crack, it'll break, you'll have to replace it. This is stainless steel, it will last forever, and if it doesn't, Multi-Pure will replace it. And they have been in business for 55 years almost, so you know they're gonna be around for a really long time. I will put all my contact information below and more information on the Aquaperform. And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me. Thanks for listening.